turn on the mic. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Declaration of pecuniary interest. We have one from Councillor McLaughlin for 7-1 road agreement. Moved by Kathy Regier, seconded by Dave Mackay, be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region adopt the agenda for the December 7, 2016 regular council meeting. All those in favor? Passed. Carried. Moved by Dave Mackay, seconded by Kathy Regier, be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region adopts the minutes for the November 30th, 2016 Economic Development Committee meeting. Any questions? All those in favor? Carried.
Okay, on the agenda it does say the resolutions for December 7th, 2016 to be ratified. For the planning, there was 3 resolutions, now there is 1 because 2 of them have been tabled. And the corporate services, there will be 1 resolution.
Moved by Charlene Jackson, seconded by Darrell McLaughlin, be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region accepts to transfer the lands legally described as Plan M, 54, Lot 5 and 10, that were held in lieu of security to Delmer Lavely, and all fees associated with the transfer be paid by Mr. Lavely. Any questions? All those in favor? Carried. Moved by Charlene Jackson, seconded by Chris Olmsted, be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region support the proposal as submitted to the Great Lakes Guardian Community Fund by Watersheds Canada. Any questions? All those in favor? Carried. Moved by Charlene Jackson, seconded by Darrell McLaughlin, be it resolved that Council of the Township of Whitewater Region recommends accepting the revised project schedule and reallocation of engineering costs for the Cobden water treatment plant upgrades as put forth by the JP2G Consultants letter dated November 28th. That was tabled, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Moved by Charlene Jackson, seconded by Darrell McLaughlin, be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region approve the invoice submitted by the project managers, JP2G Consultants, in the amount of $31,144.43 for the Cobden wastewater treatment plant upgrades. Any questions? All those in favor? Carried. Moved by Charlene Jackson, seconded by Darrell McLaughlin, be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region accepts the recommendation by staff to accept the lowest request for proposal PW-2016-07 from Freightliner in the amount of $252,952.76, including HST, for the 2017 Freightliner tandem.
You might just want to change the wording on that. That was not the lowest. It was just the winning proposal.
Okay, accepts the
Proposal.
right? Did you see how we did that? Perfect. I have to reread this, so I'm going to do that.
And does it say includes HST? Okay.
You moved it? Yeah, Charlene moved. You okay with that? And I just stroked out lowest request 4, so it just goes to proposal. I will reread it. Moved by Charlene Jackson, seconded by Darrell McLaughlin. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region accepts the recommendation by staff to accept proposal PW-2016-07 from Freightliner in the amount of $252,952.76, including HST for the 2017 Freightliner. Any more questions? All those in favor? Carried. You got a truck, Bill. Moved by Terry Miller, seconded by Kathy Regier. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region accepts the recommendation to appoint Robert Tremblay as Chief Administrator, Office Clerk, effective December 19th, 2016, with bylaw 16-12-906. Any questions? All those in favor? Carried. Moved by Kathy Regier, seconded by Dave Mackay. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region approves the following bylaw be introduced, read, dealt with, numbered, signed by the mayor and clerk, and sealed and recorded in the bylaw book. 1. Bylaw 16-10-897 Road Agreement, Pettigrew Road and Voyageur Road with Joseph Edward Kowalski. Charlene?
I had asked at the meeting that in the agreement that the insurance, certificate of insurance be provided on behalf of Joe, and that's not in the agreement. I had spoke to Joe and he was okay with it. So I would suggest that we amend we call Joe and ask to have that agreement amended to include a certificate of insurance, and maybe perhaps call our insurance to see what kind of an amount they want for liability for Pettigrew Road, but not, we don't have to worry about Voyageur Road because it's a private road. But to have that in place within the agreement before it's signed.
Okay, that means putting it on the table, or do you
well,
want to...
I'm satisfied that if
We need to add that, though.
I'm understanding that, am I understanding that he wants it sooner rather than later?
Yes, I would say that we maybe forward this bylaw point and agree with it and amend a bylaw with the insurance thing on, because Joe needs this to sell properties.
Okay, but I'm not prepared to vote on the signing until it includes the insurance, because then if that bylaw doesn't pass, or if he doesn't sign that agreement that the insurance is included, then it's not done correctly. And I'm surprised our legal did not pick that up. That's extremely important to pass on any liability when they're maintaining it, not us. So I'm prepared to allow the mayor and the CAO to sign it once that is in place, but not to sign it and then bring back another agreement or whatever. But I think we can allow the mayor and the CAO to sign the agreement once the insurance clause is put in the agreement.
Okay, so would it be proper to say in this that we agree with the bylaw once the insurance policy is put in the agreement, and the mayor and CAO can go ahead and sign it
After that's
after
in
that's
place.
done. 'Cause
That's what I would like.
we can get this done tomorrow,
Exactly.
you know, and then we just don't wanna hold up Mr. Kowalski on his severances.
That's right.
Okay?
I'm okay with that, but I think that wording has to go in.
Okay, so you're adding in,
Do you want me to write it out? I can't talk and think at the same time. I can talk and write at the same time, I can't think. I don't know what you're writing. This isn't even up right. To the next one, I'll have this later.
Moved by Dave Mackay, Moved by Dave Mackay. Seconded by Kathy Rager, be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region approves that the following bylaw be introduced, read, dealt with, numbered, signed by mayor and clerk, and sealed in the record book. 1, bylaw 1612-901, development agreement, Donald and Freeman Heffler. Any questions? Doug, do you wanna?
Yes, it should be a private road agreement on that resolution, just because this is what we're talking about. Mr. Heffler has done, severed off 3 lots off of Malloy Road, and to access them 3 lots, it's a private road. So it's a private road agreement, just to clarify on the resolution. And it's a condition, this private road agreement is a condition of severances 4816, 4916, and 5016 that would have been come to this council one time before, probably about maybe 3 months ago.
Any discussion on that matter? On that one? Okay, all those in favor? Good.
Would you mind rereading the motion?
I have no problem with that. Moved by Dave Mackay, seconded by Kathy Rager. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region approves that the following bylaw be introduced, read, dealt with, numbered, signed by the mayor and clerk, and sealed and recorded in the bylaw book. Bylaw 16-12-901, development agreement, Donald and Freeman Heffler, private road agreement.
Yeah, you don't need the word development agreement there, it's just a private road agreement.
That's what it says on the top of this. It says it's a private road agreement.
I agree.
Bylaw agreement, Donald, and, okay, so I put private road agreement the last, but it's on the motion, that's okay?
Put the arrow where it needs to go.
Wait there. That good? U-turn. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region approves that the following bylaw be introduced, read, dealt with, numbered, signed by the mayor and clerk, and sealed and recorded in the bylaw book. Bylaw 16-12-901, private road agreement, Donald Freeman Heffler. All those in favor? Carried.
Do I have the wording for the other one? Do you want me to just read it?
Yep.
So, moved by Kathy Rieger, seconded by Dave Mackay. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region approves that the following bylaw be introduced, read, dealt with, numbered, signed by the mayor and clerk once the insurance clause is added, indemnifying the township from liability to the agreement, and sealed and recorded in the bylaw book. Bylaw 16-10-897, blah, blah, blah.
Okay. All those in favor? Carried. Moved by Dave Mackay, seconded by Kathy Regier, be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region approve that the following bylaw be introduced, read, dealt with, numbered, signed by the Mayor, Clerk, and Clerk, sealed and recorded in the bylaw book. Bylaw 16-12-902, Development Agreement, Graham Ball, Robert John Buran, Rachel Hearn, Barato, I may not be pronouncing these correctly, I apologize, and Matthew John Shaw Stanfield. Doug?
Yes, again, this is a development agreement that was a condition of severance for severances 12612 to 13012, 5 lots. The development agreement stipulates what the hydro-G study explained, that the wells had to be so deep and stuff like that because of water quality and that. So this was is a development agreement as a condition of the severance.
Any questions? All those in favor? Carried. Moved by Kathy Regier, seconded by Dave Mackay. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region approves that the following bylaw be introduced, read, dealt with, numbered, signed by the Mayor and Clerk, sealed and recorded in the bylaw book. Bylaw 1612-903, Land Division Agreement, Joseph Edward Kowalski. Doug.
So here we're talking about the severances that are on Voyageur Bay, the private road. Mr. Kowalski did not want to survey the registered easement across, so he granted an easement across the whole property. So when it was talked about in that with the lawyers and that, and because of time restrictions, the lawyers and the planning department said that this would be fine, but whenever he goes to sever, the next lot over there, the easement would have to be registered, and he'd have to survey it, and he was fine with that.
Okay. Councillor McLaughlin.
I'd ask the clerk if she would add that to my pecuniary interest as well, item 4. I'm sorry, it skipped over me.
Any questions? All those in favor? Carried. Moved by Charlene Jackson, seconded by Darrell McLaughlin, be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region supports consent application B66-16-1 with the following concerns. Favorable comments are received from the CBO regarding topography. Favorable comments from Laurentian Valley regarding access from the proposed lot to Snake River Road, and a registered plan of survey is required. Doug.
These are there's two severances that we're going to talk about. First, 6616 for Mrs. Rollins is on Snake River line. She did a severance there last year. There's no issues with the karst at all, but it's a condition, and we're going to have to send a letter to the county saying that there's no issues. So it's just a straight severance on Snake River line. I see no issues.
Councillor Jackson.
So I just see on this motion, it says from the proposed lot to Snake River. Should we put Snake River line or the word line?
Yes, it should be Snake River line.
Snake River line.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Instead of just
It's hard to
Snake
sell
River.
the lake, or the river. Favorable comments from Laurentian Valley regarding access from their proposed lot to Snake River line, and a registered plan of survey is required. All those in favor? Carried. You're just getting ahead.
Some days.
Moved by Charlene Jackson, seconded by Darrell McLaughlin. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region support consent application B67-16-2 with the following concerns. Favorable comments are received from the CBO regarding karst topography. Favorable comments from Laurentian Valley regarding access from the proposed lot to Snake River line, and the register plan of survey is required.
You've inserted the word Snake River line, like line?
Yep.
Into that? Perfect.
All those in favor? Moved by Charlene Jackson, seconded by Darrell McLaughlin. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region support consent application B108-16 with the following concerns. A draft plan of survey be submitted to ensure the dwelling is 3 meters from the new side lot. A register plan of survey is required. A minor variance to recognize the reduced yard size setback. If the dwelling is less than 3 meters from the new lot line. A 1-foot strip of the lot be enlarged to be conveyed to the Township of Whitewater Region for the purpose of consolidating the subject land, and that the cost for the completing the same be at the owner's expense. Prior to the issuance of a certificate of registered copy of the document for the conveyance be provided to the Secretary Treasurer of the Land Division Committee. Doug.
This property is to correct the boundary. The people had built a garage too close to the property line. So what they're saying is that submit a draft plan survey, make sure that it's 3 meters away from the property line. And there will be no minor variance because you can alter the line a little bit, you know, like that. Secondly, this 1-foot strip to be enlarged to the convey of the Township of Whitewater Region. This is something new that the county has just started when you do lot additions, that they say it's the only proper way. You got to change the description of the property of the retained one, that it doesn't get screwed up in the transaction. It's something that I've just seen on the last couple severances. We can, if you want, we can ask our lawyer if that's the correct way to do it, or what's going on, because it's just new that I've seen, and I've asked the county about it, and they're saying that on lot additions, if you don't change the original property a little bit, there's a problem when they go to register them. Charlene, you may know more about it than I do, but I'm just telling you what I got to know.
Charlene?
Do we own the adjacent lot?
No.
We don't. So what happens is the registry office does not give the information to MPAC when there is a lot addition. And it remains in 2 lots until such time that you actually ask them to do it. And it is very confusing. This is the first I've ever seen with regards to 1 foot being transferred to the township. So then who are we supposed to transfer it to? Is it not a lot addition to?
They're talking 2 different things here now. They're talking, first of all, there's a strip piece of property that's being added to on the side.
Right.
They're talking the 1-foot strip of along the roadway be transferred to the township.
So now we're going to own an extra 1 foot.
That's what they're talking. And we can ask a legal opinion on it, but that's what the county, I've seen them come back on about 3 different severances like that, where they are lot additions, and only lot additions.
Very confusing. You're going to go down the road like this.
Yeah. Councillor McLaughlin.
I've seen that on the previous one. I assumed it was so that the strip would be deeded to the township across the property, much like what happened when I bought my property. I had to resurvey it, and redeed it back to the township, the old former township of Ross, because when I got my property, I couldn't get a mortgage because the land was landlocked, because there was a strip there when they had widened, I guess, the Kerr line. They took a strip of land, but nobody ever surveyed, nobody did nothing, they just kind of put a fence up and said there it was. Well, lo and behold, when I went to get, because I was the first owner afterwards, and it was off of a farm, that the piece of farm on paper showed that my lot was surrounded by the farm, even in front. So that's what I assumed it was for, but I'm obviously wrong.
What I can do is I can ask our lawyer to make an opinion on it, whether it's needed or not. And it's up to council what they want me to do. We can pass it like this and go ahead and do it, or we can get an opinion on it.
Councillor Jackson?
I'm not prepared to ask a lawyer and get billed by the lawyer for that 1 foot. I mean, I'm fine with that. I think what happened in Ross Township is a little bit different. I think that it was landlocked. There was like a previous owner had owned that 1 foot strip and had to be transferred over. But and the owner of Daryl, when Daryl bought it, he had to pay for that transfer. But there was several properties, both on Queen's Line for the county road and Kerr Line for the township road at the time. But this is different. But if this is the way they want to do it and they're satisfied with it at the county level, I don't want to pay a lawyer to have a legal opinion on 1 foot road loans.
Okay, and it says in the motion that he pays all expenses, so all those in favor? Carried. Moved by Charlene Jackson, seconded by Darrell McLaughlin, be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region support consent application B109-16 with the following concern. A registered plan of survey is required. Any questions? All those in favor? Thank you. Thanks, Doug. We're not done yet.
No, we're coming.
Moved by Kathy Rager, seconded by Dave McCoy. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region support consent application B126-16 with the following concerns. A registered plan of survey is required. Any questions? All those in favor? Carried. Only two left, eh? Okay, this is perfect. Moved by Dave McCoy, seconded by Kathy Ragier. Be it resolved that the Township of Whitewater Region went into closed session under Section 2392 of the Municipal Act at 7:50 p.m. A proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board. All those in favor? Carried.